This is the drone showdown that you have been waiting for, or at least you thought you were waiting for. On the right is the Potensic Atom 2. On the left is the SkyRover S1. Two drones enter. One drone emerges as the king of the budget drones.
Hey there, this is Mike with Drone Passport. Thank you very much for joining me for this video presentation. As always, I appreciate you taking time to do so. Way back in December, I did a test of waypoints between the SkyRover S1 and the Potensic Atom 2 when the Potensic Atom 2 just had this feature activated on their drones. Many people told me this was an unfair fight because the X1 was a far more advanced drone, and perhaps it is. However, people suggested to me that I should do a more realistic comparison between the S1, the SkyRover S1, and the Atom 2. And that is why we are here today for this video presentation. We are going to compare these two in some real-life testing that I did, and I will show you the criteria that I utilized to test both drones. But first, let's give an overview of the drone features between the two. Both are under 249 grams, so they do not require registration. They both have similar cameras, although the SkyRover shoots in 4K 60 frames per second. The Atom 2 shoots in 4K 30 frames per second. They both have similar gimbals. Battery time, it's estimated that the SkyRover has up to 40 minutes. The Atom 2 has up to 32 minutes. Transmission, again, are you going to be flying 10 kilometers or 12 kilometers away from your starting point? I highly doubt it. But they are very similar in terms of their distance, and then tracking in smart modes. Really, one of the main features that differentiates the two is that this Atom 2 has waypoints, the SkyRover does, S1 does not. And finally, with regard to obstacle avoidance, the Atom 2 does not have that feature. It is only forward-facing obstacle avoidance for the SkyRover. So here are the categories that I'm going to do in terms of my comparison. I'm going to compare obstacle avoidance, waypoints, controller boot up time, zoom and image quality, quick shots, signal strength, speed of the drone. And what I mean by speed is being able to fly in sports mode for both and how fast that particular drone was, and then return to home accuracy. All right. So that basically lays out how we're going to test things. This scorecard will be a running tally in terms of all of the preferences that I favored, and you are likely going to disagree with me. But as far as this test, let's get to it. In case you're not familiar with either drone, this is the forward-facing view of the Atom 2, and this is the forward-facing view of the SkyRover S1. All right, so before we begin our in-depth testing here, there are two features that are already scored ahead of time. Number one, obstacle avoidance. The SkyRover S1 has that already in place. The Atom 2 does not, so therefore not necessary to test. In terms of waypoints, the Atom 2 has that built in now. The SkyRover S1 does not. So therefore, it's split between the two at this juncture. All right, so our first test is going to be the controller boot up. Let's see which one boots up first. They were both pressed on at the same time. the SkyRover is the winner here. So if we go to our controller boot up screen, we'll see that the SkyRover wins this category. All right, zooming in on Sawney Mountain, the S1 has ×3 zoom. The Atom 2 only has ×2 zoom. The winner here in terms of zoom is the S1. Our scorecard now reads 3-1. All right, so let's take a look at image quality. I think the Atom 2's video quality is a little too rich and a little too artificial. I think the S1 video quality is more realistic, and therefore I'm going to give that the nod. So for image quality, we're going to give the nod to the S1. So far, it is a rout 4-1 in favor of the S1. Quickshots on the Atom 2 is one of the most frustrating things to use because, number one, it's not baked into the main menu. It is something that is activated when you draw a square over the selected area and you're successful in getting that square to stick. Obviously, it's not intuitive. I have to give the nod to the SkyRover S1 that has this functionality built in. So Quickshots goes to the S1. And now we'll move on to signal strength. This is one of the most damning items against the Atom 2. I am 126 feet above the landing spot at my home. You see, there's only 2 bars. Why? That makes absolutely no sense. Now, it could be a false reading, but regardless of that, there are always these outages within a reasonable distance from where I am. It makes 0 sense whatsoever. This has always been one of the weaknesses of the Atom 2. Potensic, you gotta fix this, please. Signal strength goes to the S1. Okay, I did not capture telemetry on either drone when I tested this functionality. But in terms of speed, the SkyRover S1 went all the way up to 35 miles per hour when it was in sports mode. The Atom 2 went up to around 25 miles per hour when it was also in sports mode. The nod here goes to the S1. I'm showing footage from the Potensic Atom 2 returning to home. I had to constantly adjust the S1 landing because it was going to land in places where it shouldn't have gone. The Atom 2 did better here. And you got to give credit where credit is due. The Atom 2 wins that particular category. It came very close and actually landed on the pad a couple of times. The S1 did not at all. It did not land on the pad whatsoever. So you got to give credit where credit's due. The Atom 2 has made some improvements, at least with the latest firmware update. But that brings our battle to an end. And the king of the budget drones is the SkyRover S1 with a final score of 7-2. I would say that's a rout. And that's a rout by any stretch of the imagination. But these are just my opinions. I'm very curious to know what you think. Do you agree with my opinion? Do you disagree with my opinion? Why do you disagree with my opinion? Tell me where I'm wrong. Or if you do agree, tell me what I may have not considered in terms of looking at the SkyRover S1 and the Atom 2. All right, well, that's going to bring this video to a close. I hope you found this informative, and hopefully I'd love to hear your comments, regardless of your point of view. Anyway, for all of those who subscribe to the channel, thank you so much for being a part of this. I truly appreciate it. If you're not already a subscriber, I invite you to join and be a part of this. And if you could give me a thumbs up, that would be most appreciated. All right, this is Mike with Drone Passport. Thank you so much for being here. Bye for now.